welcome to DorkDuo. We are the Dorks. I am Adam, and this is Steve. And this week we are talking Luke Cage, Logan, and other nerdly news. How you doing, Steve?
I'm ready to go. Let's talk
Ready to
about those
go?
exciting things we have to
All
say.
right. So the first thing we have to talk about, obviously, is Luke Cage. We promised we would do it, and now we're doing it. So Luke Cage. Let's do our usual thing. Let's do goods, bads, and then let's have like an overall opinion on the whole thing. All right.
Righteous. Would you care to take us away?
You want me to? All right. I'll start it off. We're gonna start with goods because we are
Okay.
positive people, right, Steve?
Compliment sandwiches.
Yes. So positives. I thought that Luke Cage had a really, really nice personality to it. It had its own flavor. It's like the most different. That sounds dumb, but whatever. It's the most different show that Netflix has made yet. Actually, it's really the most different thing that Marvel has made as of yet. It had every scene is like dripping with like music and flavor, and it's all about like hip hop culture. And I really liked it. I really liked how different and new it felt, especially compared to some of the more generic stuff. Like Daredevil is kind of just pretty much a generic like, yep, it's a superhero show, you know. But
It's
with Luke,
sad that we can say that that's a thing that now that you can say, oh yeah, it's just another superhero show.
yeah,
Like that's its own genre of boring now.
it kind of is. God, have you watched Arrow? I mean, seriously.
Not recently.
Eh. But that's the thing I really liked about Luke Cage is that it was a very non-traditional superhero show. So and let me think. Other things I really liked. With
Oh,
only
that's
oh,
my turn.
you want to
It's
go?
my
All right, we'll
yeah.
we'll take turns. That's
All
fine.
right,
Okay,
okay.
something you liked, Steve.
One of the things that I liked is I actually liked Luke Cage as like a person because
Hmm.
okay, I don't know if you've ever gotten this kind of feeling before when you're watching one of these kind of shows or just any show in general, where you're thinking, I want the protagonist to do this right now, and then they don't do it, and it's upsetting. But he
Hmm.
didn't ever do that. Like from the second we saw him in the sweeping the barber shop, I was like, this guy's gonna be badass. And then he does all the badass things later I want him to do. Like people are shooting at him, and he just walks all badass towards them and backhands them into a wall or something. And I'm like,
I know,
yes,
right?
that's exactly what I
It
wanted him to
feels
do
so
there.
good. And actually, before we go any further, I should say this. We are going to have slight spoilers in this review. We're going to do everything we can not to like say anything about major plot points, but
I
we
don't
will.
think the fact that he sweeps is a
Well, I
huge
know,
spoiler
but I'm
though.
just saying, like, if you want to know nothing about it, just go watch it and don't listen to this. If you
Yeah,
want to know
pause this,
nothing,
finish the show, then come back.
yeah, like you come back. Yeah, exactly. Come back once you've seen it because we are not going to talk about major things. Like I'm not going to talk about like specific huge plot points, but I'm going to talk about some minor plot points. Okay, so now that we have that established, yes. Going back to what you were saying, I really like what you're saying with Luke. I just really liked Luke in general. He's actually one of my he's actually one of my favorite defenders now. Like I really like him. He's awesome and cool, and I liked the his sort of progression into being a hero where like in the beginning he really just doesn't want to deal. Like he's just like please leave me alone. Like I have no interest in any of this.
See,
But then
what's okay?
yeah.
He was in Jessica Jones first, right? And I
Yes.
remember thinking to myself, wow, he is really boring. He has nothing interesting to offer me. But I'm gonna rescind that now because I actually like how he developed, like,
Yeah. I
interpersonally.
I agree. Actually, that's kind of a negative thing that I have, but I'll save that for later. Another positive that I had was, with only one exception, I thought that the acting was great across the board. With only one exception, and I'll get much more into that later when I talk about the negatives. But I thought that Cottonmouth was phenomenal. I think he's one of my favorite villains in the Marvel universe, honestly. I loved him. I
Really?
thought I really liked Cottonmouth,
Wow.
yeah. I thought he was really, really well done. I also liked Mariah Dillard, and I liked the two of them together because I liked that they were like reflections of each other.
They did
You
make a pretty satisfying double act.
Yeah, like they were I liked that so much. Like I liked that Cottonmouth was sort of this guy who secretly wanted to be like a legitimate person. Like he secretly, okay, again, slight spoilers. He secretly wanted to be a musician. That's really what he wanted to be. but he was kind of forced into being this gangster and like this mob boss thing. And he kept it felt like he was faking the whole time. It felt like he wasn't really being a mob boss. He was never truly invested in it, but he kept saying he was because he knew it was expected of him because of this whole PTSD stuff with his grandmother from way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And the other end of the spectrum, there's Mariah, who is trying so hard to be legitimate and keeps kind of trying to push away this, this criminal element of her past. But both of them are pushing away parts of themselves that they secretly want, and both of them are stronger characters when they finally embrace, the thing that they're pushing away. With Cottonmouth, it's his music, and with Mariah, it's the illegal elements of herself and her past and all of that. I really liked the two of them together, and I liked the way that they kind of reflected each other. I thought they were just great.
I would agree.
I liked, for the most part, I liked Misty Knight. I thought she was a worthy addition to the Netflix series, the Netflix universe. And I am pretty excited to hear that she's going to be in the Defenders. I think that that's really cool. I thought that she was. I thought that the only small thing I didn't like about her, and I'll go into more detail again later, is I thought she was a little bit inconsistent with her characterization, but that's kind of...
Okay, this might be a dumb question. Who is she again?
Misty is the cop.
Okay. All right.
Yes. Are we good?
I couldn't get around remembering people's names. So.
Sorry, yeah. I thought I liked her, generally, and I thought the actress did a really good job with her. I also liked Claire, and I liked that Claire was a major part of the series for once. Like, in Daredevil Season 1, she was in, 5 episodes. In Jessica Jones, she was in exactly 1 episode. And in Daredevil Season 2, she was in, 4 episodes. So I really liked in this series that she was, a major part of, the second half of the show. She was in every episode from then on. I liked that, because it
was weird to see her kind of come out as a character, not the glue that ties the universe together.
Right? Yeah.
Because before she existed pretty much exclusively to remind you that, oh yeah, these are connected.
Yeah, pretty much.
But she actually did stuff here, so that's good at least.
So yeah, that's pretty much my entire good thing. Is I liked the actors playing all of the roles. I thought that, with one exception, they all did a really, really good job. All right,
okay.
Steve, do you have any more positives?
I have one more good one, and it's not a particularly big thing. It just kind of made me chuckle.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, I guess a little. When he emerges from the lake and he has to steal clothes from the clothesline, I like that they put him in his Power Man costume.
I loved that too.
And I like that he says, "You look like a damn fool," because he's wearing his ridiculous V-cut yellow shirt and his chain belt and his headband.
That was such a great allusion to his original really stupid looking costume. I loved it. I loved it so much. It was really great.
I'm glad they didn't dwell on it though. But that was fun for me. I'm sure I can think of good things later, but do you want to move on to the bad things here?
There's plenty of other good things. I guess the only other thing, I kind of mentioned at the beginning, but the music is so good in this show. It's really, really fantastic. And I said in the beginning how it gives it its own flavor, but not only that, but it just... Man, there's a few times that I was jamming out, and I don't usually like rap music, but oh my gosh, it was awesome. Okay.
All right. I might didn't really notice, to be perfectly honest.
But... Fine, Steve. I don't know what to say to that, but whatever. Let's move on to some bad things. If we think of good things later, we can always throw some more in. But let's do some bad things. And since you are always the negative Nancy, you can kick us off with the bad. Okay.
Oh, that's very generous of you.
Yes, go right ahead.
Well, I'll start out soft first of all. I think that while the story characters and the story started out really strong, I think it had a bit of the we only wrote a story for 6 episodes but had to make 12 things. I think the story gets real weak towards the middle end.
I completely agree with you. I think that it's really hard to talk about this without spoiling it.
When the thing happens, and we introduce a new villain.
Yeah, there is a turning point in the series, and I will not spoil what it is, but it was very dramatic. And when it happened, my jaw hit the floor, and I was like, wow, where are they going to go from here? And unfortunately, the answer is nowhere good.
Yeah.
because
Not much of anything happens of any consequence after that, really.
yeah, there's a point where they introduce a new villain, and that's Diamondback. And this is my biggest issue with the series. I hated Diamondback.
Agreed.
I hated everything about Diamondback. I
Absolutely.
couldn't stand him. I hated how over the top his acting was. I hated how ridiculously stupid his his writing was. How he would go from like preaching about the Lord to like switching up to talking about like being a gangster and
I
how
feel
much
like what they
how
were
much he
shooting.
hates
Okay.
Luke Cage.
I feel like what they were doing in their heads when they were writing him is they were saying, let's take like the Joker and then like cross him with
A
like
gangster?
chaotic evil or something, or lawful evil. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
let's put them
almost.
those together. And in their head, it worked out. But when you do it in practice, it just comes off as like bipolar, I
I
guess.
completely agree. Yeah, he felt like the Joker, but a really religious black Joker. That's what it
Yes,
felt like to me.
yes.
And I
Also, okay, I'm
really
going to
hated him.
spoil this one little thing because it pissed me
All
off
right.
to no end, and I have to. So,
Okay.
cover your ears or whatever if you don't want to hear this one.
All right.
When Luke said to him, "You were like my brother," and he says, "No, I was your brother," I did an audible eye roll. Like I was like, "Oh my god, did you just like?"
I had one
That's
thing
so
that
stupid.
okay, see, they were already going like full cheese with that character. I can never forgive them for him not saying at that moment, "No, Luke, I am your brother." Come on.
Oh, you're right.
It
That would
was
have been a
set
great
up
missed
for you.
opportunity.
It was so perfect. I'm so disappointed that that didn't happen. Just because he's already terrible and super ridiculously cheesy. You might as well go full Hamill. Come on.
Okay, and also, to carry off of that, I might have just not been paying attention because that happens sometimes. But they didn't
Yeah.
mention him up until this point, right? They introduced him
They
solely for the second half of the
they
show.
mentioned him a couple of times, like Shades mentioned
No, they
him.
mentioned Diamondback, but I'm
Yeah,
talking about that
Diamondback.
guy, like not
Oh yeah, no,
Diamondback
they
the
never
alias.
mentioned like Willis Stryker, the person that he was. No, they
Okay,
never talked about him.
okay, good. I thought maybe I just missed an episode or
See,
something, and I was like,
I
who is this
that's
guy?
another thing. That's the thing I don't like about Diamondback is he's introduced just out of nowhere, and suddenly we're supposed to be like, "Oh yeah, he has all this history with Luke." And we're like, "What history? Can you tell us more?" And by the time they finally get around to giving us any kind of backstory, at that point it's too late. Like I don't care. I stopped caring 3 episodes ago. Like
Pretty much, yes.
like I just do not care about Diamondback. I don't care about his you spoiled it. So I don't care about his like brotherly connection with Luke. I don't give a crap. It's just oh my
Definitely not.
oh my god.
Definitely not.
I just hated him so. Okay, and this is a small thing, but I have to mention it in regards to Diamondback because it pretty much sums up like like all the reasons I hate him.
Okay.
There's a point where he's trying to frame Luke for murder, okay?
Yeah.
And so he puts on this power glove thing that like makes him super strong, and then he punches a dude, and that guy dies. He like goes flying 20 feet and dies.
Yeah.
And then Diamondback, who's wearing a hoodie and pretending to be Luke Cage, just starts running around saying, "I'm Luke Cage! Luke Cage!" And I was just like, "Oh my god. How would anyone fall for that?" That's like
That's what's extra dumb about it, because like 2 or 3 episodes prior to that, they express how popular Luke Cage is with the people and how they all know who he is.
yeah, I
How did
know.
anybody fall for that? Everyone looking at that guy should have been like, "No, you're not."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, like it was just so silly. And I could understand from like the cop's perspective, it's like, okay, well we have a dude thrown 20 feet with a single punch. So that seems like Luke Cage. But then Misty was like the only one sitting there saying, "Okay, yeah, but why would he start screaming his name after he killed a dude?"
because he's a criminal and all criminals need to shout their name, like
Yeah,
Cobra.
it's oh my god. I hated it. I hated him so much. And uh and that's another I'm gonna say that's another negative I have about the show is that sometimes the writing was off. Sometimes it was too cheesy. Sometimes it just didn't make any sense, like with the whole Diamondback thing, but that's not the only time it didn't make sense. Like, Misty is another one where, okay, trying to avoid major spoilers here, but there's a point where she's at her lowest. A personal, someone she's close to is dead, and she's really just feeling very vulnerable, and then she starts choking out a witness.
Yes.
What? That's so against everything that I've understood about the character so far. It goes against everything I know about her.
Okay.
She's a good cop.
That was only there so that they could set up her little interview flashback series so we could get some backstory on her.
Which took way too long.
Yes,
which
it
took
did.
way like they could have like all the time they spent with her little interview thing, like which was like at least 20-25 minutes of her just talking to this one dude and like giving
And
us her
drinking a
back.
delicious country time lemonade.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of that in this show. I don't know why. It was kind of weird. Yeah, all that time spent having her just talk to that one guy and give us her backstory, they could have pretty much like just crammed into about 5 minutes, and then they could have taken those extra 20 minutes and I don't know, maybe given us some Diamondback backstory so that we could understand why he hates Luke.
Or just more kick-ass Luke punching dudes through walls. I would have been okay with that too.
That's actually another thing I didn't really like is I thought the action was kind of meh in the show. Like it wasn't terrible. It
Well,
was
he
just
doesn't shoot laser beams or anything.
No,
There's
I
only
know,
so much he
but
can
like
do.
he has super strength, and like the only time he does anything really interesting with it is when he picks up a couch and starts hitting people with it.
That
Like,
was pretty fun.
like that was like the only really interesting moment with his superpowers. Like there's only so many times I can watch someone take a gun, shoot him with it, and then it not work before it gets kind of boring. It's like, yes, I get it. He's bulletproof. Like,
Yawn.
yeah, I don't know. It's just like, okay, yes, that's correct. Like, I know. I've known for a while. Like, I knew before the series started that he was bulletproof. I watched Jessica Jones. Okay, and that's
Okay,
another thing.
oh no, you had your turn. It's my
Fine,
turn.
go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, I have two big ones left. So if you need to,
Go ahead,
fill
go
the
ahead.
gap in.
No, it's fine.
Okay, so number one, I had a really hard time figuring out where this show took place in the continuity.
I could help you with that.
Okay, well, that's not really that big of a deal. It's just when it started off, I couldn't remember if this was like, post Jessica Jones. It obviously is.
Yeah.
But when it first starts, I was like, okay, is this maybe before he gets the bar, or what's
Mhm.
the deal here? But my other main problem is Shades.
I liked Shades.
Shades sucks.
I don't agree at all. I liked Shades. I thought he was great.
Shades' name is dumb. He is a total tool, and he wears Ray-Bans like a douche.
Well, yes, he does do that. That's a part of who he is that
I
he's
know,
kind
but
of
he's not threatening at all. He can't pull off that stoic menacing thing he's going for the
I
whole
thought
time.
he was like the most competent of all of the villains. Like he was the only one who was making logical decisions the entire time.
That's fine, but that's not scary. That's not intimidating. He wasn't,
Oh, come on.
He didn't make me afraid for
That scene where he like killed the three other dudes. You didn't think that was awesome? Come on. He
It was fine. I saw Luke Cage punch a dude through a wall, though. And
Fair
when you
enough.
have that kind, okay, that's the problem with him. I think inherently with this show, though, is that these are normal people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have Luke Cage, who is immune to normal people bullets.
Yep.
So these guys were never really a threat, which they do actually touch on, and I think that they did it pretty well. But
Yeah,
like,
actually,
I'm not
yeah.
afraid of the repercussions of Shades
that's the
doing
thing.
anything
Well, that's
because
the thing
nothing
is-
could possibly be a problem.
I actually like that about the show is up until Diamondback shows up, they weren't going after Luke like okay, they tried to kill Luke at first before they figured out what was going on with Luke. But like that's the like you can't kill Luke, you can't harm Luke, but you can harm everyone around him. You can go after all of his friends and the entire neighborhood
I
if you
mean,
want.
yes,
I mean,
but again, I think Shades is pretty lame.
I
think
g-
his,
I
I think his
don't agree.
name is what 90s skater kids would call their cool gang friends.
okay, that character is in the comics. Like it's
That's
not
fine.
like they just
He
made
still
that up.
sucks though.
I don't agree. I actually really liked Shades. I want him to show up in more things. I hope he shows up in the Defenders, honestly. I thought he was really cool. I liked
Alright,
Shades a
that's
lot.
fine, that's fine.
I thought he was badass. I thought that he was the only person making logical decisions. I liked his weird relationship with Mariah. I thought it was creepy and I liked it. It was kind of cool. I don't know. For me Shades worked, but I can understand why you wouldn't like him potentially. But I thought he worked for me.
All right, that's fine.
All right, cool. Another thing that I didn't like. What was I going to say before? Oh yeah, um, this show is simultaneously the most connected show yet, but also in some ways the most disconnected show yet. It's really kind of a weird thing that they're doing. Like they have a lot of Easter eggs. Like I loved like the hammer tech being mentioned because like we haven't heard about hammer tech since Iron Man 2. I mean
Yeah.
that's like really scraping the bottom of the Easter egg
I
barrel.
think the reason they had to do that for this one is because they felt like most people weren't going to watch this one as much
Mm,
because people are going to show up for Daredevil because they know who he is, and
yep.
people showed up for Jessica Jones because it turned out to be badass.
Yeah.
But like he was in Jessica Jones, that's probably the only reason anybody showed up for this one.
I don't agree because like I feel like most people who are like semi into comic books have
Right,
heard
but
of Luke
this was
Cage.
meant to be people who aren't, and they had to give
That's
you a reason.
I
And
guess
this
that's
is the
kind of
one
true.
he's got a bit of the Thor syndrome where he exists to make sure all the other movies have all their ends tied.
I'll give you that. Yeah, he is kind of like Thor now that I think about it. Yeah, it's like oh yeah, like Thor. Like comic fans know who Thor is, but you have to kind of like have your own Thor movie just to introduce all the general audience people to who the hell Thor is, because otherwise it doesn't really work. And that's kind of exactly what Luke Cage was all about. It's like, okay, we got to make this so that you know who Luke Cage is. Okay, now that you know, good, great. Let's move on to the Defenders.
Pretty much. I actually thought of more negative things.
Okay,
So do
wait,
you have
but I'm not done. I'm not quite
okay?
done with the thing I was saying. Like, okay, I got the sense that the guy who made this show didn't really like Jessica Jones. I got the sense, like, there were a couple of references to the stuff that Luke did in Jessica Jones, but they felt really forced. It
Well, the
really,
same with the Daredevil ones because they loved mentioning other shows in here.
yeah, like it really. Well, but the Daredevil ones were only like it was only like Claire, really. That was like the only connection to Daredevil.
Well,
Other
and to
than
be
that,
fair, it was pretty much exclusively, hey, I know a good lawyer,
yeah,
over and over and over and over
hey, I
and
know.
over and over and
Oh,
over
and
again.
then when she first showed up, I remember her talking like her mom about like, yeah, a bunch of ninjas tried to kill me. That was crazy. Like it was just,
Anyway,
um, but like the whole Jessica Jones thing, Luke didn't really feel like the same Luke I saw in Jessica Jones. Like they felt like almost two different people, you
yeah, I
know?
would agree.
Like and I'll agree that the Luke on Jessica Jones was kind of boring. So I liked this version more, but it just felt weird. Like it felt weird because I'm like, did that happen? Because it didn't seem like that happened. Like they didn't mention the flash drive that Jessica gave him until like three-quarters of the way through the show.
Yep.
And I was like, really? You think that he would have, looked into this like I don't know, months ago. Like, why did he not even look at it? Or maybe he did, but they just didn't say it. I don't know. It was
Because the
weird.
story hadn't called for it yet, you silly goose.
Oh, actually, I have to retroactively add one good thing. I liked all of the stuff involving Luke's backstory. Like, not only the stuff with the flashback with him in prison, but also the stuff that we find out about Riva later. I liked all of that. I thought that was really cool. Sorry, quick
Yeah,
thing.
I would agree. I would agree.
All right, what else do you have? Like
Okay.
another bad thing, I think.
Okay. This is not actually a bad thing. It's just an observation that I had. I didn't know where to put it.
Okay.
This show and the whole like Defenders collective here, they sure love them some Catholicism.
I know, right? The only one that didn't
They're
do that was
finding
Jessica. Jessica Jones
yeah,
didn't have any of that, but that was it.
they're just finding places and villains and heroes and whatnot to stick that in wherever they can. That's not necessarily a bad
Okay,
thing. It's
it
just kind
makes
of weird.
it makes total sense with Daredevil. That's like a huge part of who he is. He is like he's a Catholic. That's why he doesn't kill. So it makes absolute sense to like have him be like the Christ character because he sees himself as a Christ character. That's like his like view of the world.
I don't
Uh,
know if I agree with that, but okay.
He totally does. He like he's like self-sacrificial, all about I have to save the city because I'm the only one who can do it. Like he always pushes everyone away and he doesn't want any help, all because it has to be me. No one else can share my burden.
That just
Like
makes him Batman.
okay, no, it's because he's Catholic. It's like that's like a part of who he is.
All right, fine, whatever. It made
Anyway,
sense there. It didn't really make sense for me in Luke Cage.
I agree, actually. I mean, it kind of made some sense. Like I wasn't.
Some in the
Oh,
context that they were setting it up, but I'm saying it would not have suffered if it wasn't there.
oh, I totally agree. That's
Additionally, I like for 4 episodes straight, the only thing in my head was "Son of a Preacher Man" playing on loop forever and ever and ever.
Dude, I was the same. I remember I was singing that song to myself for no reason, and I was like, oh no. It's because I was watching Luke Cage, wasn't it? Because they started playing that stinking thing. Oh my god. Yeah, I think it was Diamondback who started
It
playing
was,
it.
it was,
Yeah.
yes, it was a non at all subtle reference to,
That's another thing. I don't know if this is a good or bad thing, but this show is not subtle at all. There is
No, that was
like
actually the next thing I was gonna say.
there
Go
is
ahead, go ahead.
zero subtlety at any point. Like
Yeah.
even the point where I thought they were gonna be subtle, like Luke as a character, he's a bulletproof black man. Like
Yes.
there's a lot of like
Yes.
cultural
It's
baggage.
quite the metaphor, if it
Yeah.
was a metaphor.
But that's the thing is like there's a lot of cultural baggage around that, and they would have been fine if they had just left it be unsaid, but something that we all know, this how big of a deal it is to have a bulletproof black man being shot by cops.
Yes.
Uh,
But then they go ahead
but
and tell you like
but yeah,
four
but then
times.
like they have Method Man come on and have him just like basically just lay it all out for you. Like,
Yeah.
there's something really powerful about a bulletproof black man. It's like, well, we're just gonna go straight into that, are we? Okay, all right. That's
Okay,
that's
I don't
cool.
know if this was if like it was meant to be preachy or if it happened to coincide with political times that when they were filming just happened to be the case and it wasn't related at all. But if that's the case, it certainly is a coincidence.
I think that I mean this show was being made right around the time the Trayvon Martin shootings were happening, so I can't speak today. So I do think that that was very intentional, but I think that it just kind of worked out that recently there's a huge resurgence in this topic in like now in like modern times with the whole Trump and everything. So it kind of just
Hmm.
worked out really well for the show that it just happened to be released right at the right time. And good
Yes.
for the show. I mean, that's nice. It's cool. I do wish it was a little less over the top with it and like,
Not
it's
beating you over the head with it.
yeah, not just like hitting you square in the jaw with it. Like, oh my god, the Luke's little speech in the final episode. Good
Yeah, I was like that.
God.
That didn't even really seem like his mantra. The whole thing.
Yeah, like
It didn't really seem like he was doing this
it,
for
it,
that reason.
again, this ties back into what I was saying about the weird writing. It was weirdly inconsistent. Like Luke would be like, I'm just here to protect me and mine. Like, I don't
Yeah,
I'm only
me
doing
and
this to take
Pops.
yeah, I'm only doing this to take down Cottonmouth, and then I'm gonna go on my way, And then suddenly at the end there, he was just like, "We have to work together to fight through oppression," or whatever that. I don't remember all the details of what he was saying, but it was just like, "What is this? Like, where did this come from? I have no idea." It was weird. I don't know, man.
I liked Pops for that kind of reason because I think he
Yeah,
kind of
it worked for
represented a
Pops.
positive. But
Well,
everybody else who did it was kind of like,
well,
okay, I get it.
It works for
Okay,
Pops
I
because it
think
was
in the
like,
first, I think in Cottonmouth's first line of dialogue, he mentions that he's black and then never stops.
yeah, yeah. I really liked Cottonmouth though. I thought the actor did a really really phenomenal job as Cottonmouth, and I was saddened when he became less relevant uh, throughout the series.
Well, I think we've
Yeah,
tackled Luke Cage.
I think so. Well, let's just do one last thing. Let's give our overall because we talked about goods, we talked about bads, but we didn't talk about our general opinion on it. So let's
Okay,
just
all right.
do that. Our overall thoughts. So go ahead.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, sorry.
Um, while it has some pretty glaring issues, I would say overall it's pretty tight. I don't know where I would put it amongst the other Marvel shows.
I do personally.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah,
Because I like them all for different reasons. Like I
I
like
agree.
Daredevil because it's consistently good, you
Hmm.
know.
Hmm.
But I think Jessica Jones is better when it's doing good. If that makes sense.
You are saying exactly what I'm thinking.
Oh,
Like
okay, good.
I give more points just to Jessica Jones just because yeah, when it's good, it's amazing. And it's so good that I can kind of look past some of the elements I don't like as much, like some of the side characters and stuff.
Yeah.
So I kind of give extra points to Jessica Jones just because of just how high it hits when it's hitting high.
Mm-hmm. There's lots
And
of peak.
so for me, Jessica Jones is my favorite Netflix show.
Okay.
After that is Daredevil season 1, which the only I view them almost as equal. The only reason I give Jessica Jones any additional points is because it like strives to be more than Daredevil does.
Mm.
Like Daredevil is pretty much just a straight like superhero show, a really good one, but it's just a superhero show. It doesn't have like a whole lot of political commentary or anything of like real substance like Jessica Jones has.
Sure.
So that's why I give it the slight edge of Jessica Jones over Daredevil season 1.
See, I
Then
would I measure them the same way as you, but I still edge out Daredevil ahead just because I like the consistency of it being
I
good.
I,
Because
I
even other superhero shows that are so by the books aren't always good all the
that's
time.
true. I agree. That's true.
So I'm gonna give it to Daredevil.
See, I totally know what you're saying, and that's the thing is for me, Daredevil season 1, Jessica Jones, it can go either way. It depends on my mood, honestly. It's like sometimes I think Daredevil is the best. Like the action scenes are amazing and everything. Like
Hmm.
sometimes I'm like, no, that's got to be better because it is more
Okay, all right.
consistent.
I guess let me put it this way. I would catch an episode of Daredevil and be satisfied, but I would marathon Jessica Jones.
That's a good way to think of it. Yeah, I agree. Um, and then after that, after Daredevil and Jessica Jones, which again you kind of have to, they're interchangeable really.
Hmm.
Then I have Daredevil season 2, which has like there's a pretty sharp drop off when they start introducing the hand storyline, which I didn't really
Yes.
like. And like Elektra kind of isn't as good
No,
as
but
she
Punisher's
could have
good.
been. But yeah, exactly. The Punisher is really good, so it's like Daredevil season 2 is kind of a mixed bag, but the good parts are really good. So I'm just kind of be like, yeah, it's Jesus. Sorry, my cat is freaking out. Excuse me. But yeah, Daredevil season 2, it's kind of a mixed bag, but it's still good. It's like I think we gave Daredevil season 2 an 8.5, and I still stand by
These
that.
seem like things we should write down
I,
so
I
we know
actually
for the
I,
future.
I went back and I knew. I went back and looked at them, so I know what they are.
Oh, okay.
Jessica Jones was a 9.5.
Okay.
Daredevil was a 9, which I
Okay.
think we might want to retroactively change because I think now I probably would consider it a 9.5, but whatever.
Okay.
And Daredevil season 2 was an 8.5. And now we're going to talk about Luke Cage, which is unfortunately my least favorite of the other three.
But still good.
Uh, it's still good. It's still really good. I would say it's worth about an 8.
Really?
Be-
Okay.
that's my opinion.
I was prepared to meet you at 8.5, but
See,
okay.
I really, really disliked Diamondback. I can't get over that. Like, okay, Elektra in Daredevil season 2 kind of flopped, and the hand, yeah, that was kind of bad. But Diamondback was horrible pretty much all the time he was there.
Pretty much, yeah. I
There's
would
like
agree.
almost no redeeming qualities in my mind with Diamondback. I really, really hated him. And so if I could like go into Luke Cage. If I could like take like a tweezers and just pull Diamondback right out of it, and just everything else that's there, I think is worth at least an 8.5, maybe a 9. But with Diamondback in there, I think that it's worth about an 8.
Okay, that's fair.
You agree?
I would agree with that.
All right, great. So
There
we
you go.
agree. Luke Cage is an 8. Good, but could have been much better. Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Solid. Good
So
stuff.
now we're going to move on. Oh my god. Excuse me. Now we're going to move on to our next bit of news, or our first bit of news. Wolverine 3, which is not called Wolverine 3 anymore, thank God. Wolverine 3 has now been given the official title of Logan, and it is apparently going to be an adaptation of the Old Man Logan storyline. Oh, excuse me. And also, Professor X is going to appear, and he's going to be old as dirt and might be blind.
As they do.
Yep, exactly. So my thoughts on this. It sounds cool, honestly. Like I am intrigued by it, and I'm totally gonna go see it. I am a bit confused over exactly how this fits into the X-Men universe.
As am I.
Um, so okay, I'm gonna try to lay this out. So I'm thinking that the most likely scenario is that this is somehow like going back to the original timeline, like the timeline of the first three X-Men films, and it's just kind of like way in the future after that point. That's what I'm thinking the most likely scenario is. But is confusing because that timeline is gone now, and there's a point in Days of Future Past where that timeline is erased. There isn't anything past that point because Logan fixes everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know how you can do that. And if this is a part of the new timeline, and then why is Professor X there? I mean, this is Patrick Stewart as Professor X. Why is he there? I mean, I guess he is going to. I guess what's his face is going to age into Patrick Stewart at some point, but it feels kind of weird. It's just like so okay. It's so confusing. The X-Men timeline, the movie timeline. It's just such a huge mixed bag that I don't even know how to even make any sense of it anymore.
Well, what I'm more curious about is like how far in the future it is,
Yep.
because even if for some reason, a whole bunch of shenanigans happened and timelines and junk and all those folks that are not alive are alive now, they would all be long dead by the time Old Man Logan rolls around.
Yep. Yeah,
With
cuz he like is a really really like what's the word I'm trying to find? His lifespan is like incredibly long,
Yeah,
right?
and he's actually like grayed and old in that time period, which is really, really far away for him since he ages like really slow.
Yeah.
So everybody would be dead. There's
Yeah.
no way around that. All those people that I mean, okay, maybe they're cutting everybody else out, but Xavier would be gone.
Yeah, cuz Xavier was already in like his let's say 50s at the earliest.
Yeah, to be charitable.
Yeah, to be very nice to it like and but like yeah, he'd be deader than dead by the time that this
Maybe he's
happened.
a psychic ghost.
I don't know, man. This whole thing feels weird. But
Well,
at the same but also sounds really cool. Like I want to see it. Like that sounds awesome. I want to see old beaten, weathered Wolverine coming out of retirement. That sounds awesome.
okay, but
Like
I'm confused about what the plot's going to be.
yeah, I haven't read
Because
Old Man Logan.
Old Man Logan is basically Mad Max with the Hulk,
Yeah, that's not going to
and
work.
they can't have the Hulk.
Nope.
So
They
who's the
could
villain?
do any villain. Okay, it's totally gonna be Magneto. It's always Magneto, or maybe it'll be Mister Sinister or something. Because they
Oh yeah, I
teased
guess they
Mister.
could do that.
I don't know if you knew this, because I know you didn't see X Men Apocalypse, but they teased Mister Sinister at the end of X Men Apocalypse.
Oh, well,
So
a different timeline doesn't count.
no, we don't know that though. It could be the same timeline because we know nothing about the timelines. Well, okay, I think the best way to approach the X Men universe is to not think about it. I
That is a
really
great suggestion.
I just think that you should just not worry about timelines. Just watch the movies and view them all as their own separate islands.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Or like you can view some of them being within their own universe. Like X-Men 1, 2 and 3. That's its own little bubble. And then there's like
Kind of like the
first
Terminator movies. Don't worry too much about all that continuity time travel nonsense.
and then there's First Class, Days of Future Past, and then Apocalypse. That's in its own little like shrink-wrapped bubble. And everything else is off on its own. X-Men Origins Wolverine, don't worry about it. Deadpool, don't worry about it. It's fine. It'll just be there on its own, doing its own thing. And then now we're gonna get Deadpool 2. So then Deadpool and Deadpool 2 are gonna be its own little bubble. Because otherwise, it's like a giant messy web, and no one likes messy webs. That's just disgusting.
True,
So
true.
so yeah, Logan. I okay. By the way, what do you think about the name Logan? I think it's
Uh,
dumb.
I mean, it's very clearly supposed to be referencing the source material, but I don't know why they chose to do that.
I think it's weird because like it reminds me of like the Jason Bourne movie, like the new one that's just called Bourne or
Oh,
Jason Bourne or something like that. I don't really care. It bothers me because it's like okay, so you have like the Bourne ultimatum, the Bourne supremacy, the Bourne identity, and then Jason Bourne. Like yeah, that fits in it bothers me because it's not consistent with its naming. And
hmm
oh my god, X-Men has always been confusing with its naming. Like there was X-Men X2 X-Men United, there was X-Men 3 The Last Stand, there was X-Men Origins Wolverine, there was X-Men
But
Days of
it's like
Future
you said,
Past,
X-Men
First
movies don't
Class.
really care about keeping continuity or
No, they don't.
conventions or anything. They're just here to put more Wolverine on the screen and make you pay your $9.
Yep.
They
Which
don't really care,
which is
and
gonna
that's
work
fine.
because supposedly this is the last time that Hugh Jackman's gonna be Wolverine. Supposedly,
Yeah,
that's
okay,
probably
yeah,
not
whatever,
true.
Brett Favre.
But that's probably not true. But I'm still excited to see it. Like I like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and I'm gonna see this movie just because it has Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in it.
Pretty much.
So they already have me. They all you gotta do is just say new Wolverine movie, and I'm like, yep, sold. Like, yep,
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm there. You got me. Like, so yeah,
What's it about? Never mind, I don't care.
so yeah, Logan looks fine. I can dig it. No big deal. Next up in our news is that Suicide Squad is getting an extended cut or an extended edition.
Thank goodness.
Yay!
I was worried that all of that precious Jared Leto time would not be ever seen again.
If I'm being honest, I have very mixed feelings about this because on the one hand, I actually do want to see those scenes. Like I really do want to
Oh,
see.
I want to see them, but not because I think they'll make the movie better. I want
Oh
to
yeah.
see them so I know what Jared Leto says would have made the movie good.
Yeah, I agree. Like I really also it's only like 13 additional minutes, which
Which
is
is
not
not an extended cut by any means, by the way.
yeah, that's like an extra yeah, that's
Lord
like
of the Rings
nothing.
extended cut was like an hour and a half extra.
Yes, it was.
Watchmen was like an hour and a half extra.
Yeah, and like Batman v Superman was like an extra 30 some minutes, I think. Like it's so like 13 minutes. It's like okay, there's no way this is going to be that crazy monumental. Like it's going to be maybe marginally better,
Yeah, the
but
13 minutes they lost was just the Disney short they stuck at the beginning of the movie.
it's not
That's all
Disney
that
though.
was.
It's not Disney.
I know, I know.
But yeah, I don't know about this. And like I guess like we were both saying, like I want to see those scenes, like I do, but I'm also kind of I don't want to pay WB for like screwing with this movie and cutting out all these extra scenes. You know, like I don't want to give them more money because they made the movie worse. So I have to pay to see the movie in theaters, and then I have to pay to get it the extended edition like 6 months later. Like that bothers me. I don't
See,
like
I'm
that.
I'm actually like genuinely curious what things didn't make the cut and
So am
what
I,
they
and
could have
that's the
possibly
thing.
added.
Is like I'm totally gonna get this. I'm not gonna get it right away because I don't want to give them. I don't want to pay full price, but I'm totally gonna get this. But I'm kind of mad that I'm going to get this because I am curious. Like they have me. They won. Like I want it. I want to see what they cut out. I want to see what these scenes are. But I'm not happy about it.
Fair enough.
All right.
Or you could just, Google it.
That's true, but that's not the same, Steve. Also, I already have the extended edition of Batman v Superman, so I kind of have to get the extended edition of Suicide Squad.
Oh, you're right. You're practically obligated now.
Yeah, it's a part of who I am. It's otherwise, who knows what's gonna happen. All right, moving on. So J.J. Abrams says that a Portal movie is coming. He didn't give any kind of a specific release date or studio or anything like that. He just said that that there was a Portal movie coming and that apparently he's involved, probably as a producer.
I think this guy's pushing his luck now.
Well, yeah, look, J.J. Abrams, you did a good job with Star Wars. It wasn't perfect, but you did a good job. But you better not. But Star Wars, you better not mess up again. You better make sure that the next Star Wars isn't just Empire Strikes Back again. And like with the whole Star Trek thing, you better make sure that you don't, make Wrath of Khan again. I don't know. It's like this guy is really, really good at making the same thing a second time and just making it better.
Well, there is something to be said for that, I suppose.
I
but,
guess, yeah. Like that's his thing. Is he's really good at that. He's really good at making a thing that's already been made a second time, but doing it like better and with like better writing and special effects and directing and all of that
Okay, but
wonderful
to get
stuff.
back to the Portal movie, I want you
Yeah.
to take a journey with me. I want you to
Okay.
think about the logistics of doing this. All right, you
Sure.
have Portal, which is probably the most mimetic video game in the history of mankind.
That's correct.
You have a Valve game, which has the most ridiculously obsessive fans of all time,
Hmm.
and you have a movie adaptation of a video game, which is like basically throwing a bunch of money in a fire. So I don't know what these guys were thinking. This is
Yeah,
just doomed to fail. Even if it's good, it's
I'm
doomed to
actually
fail.
I'm really curious about okay, like Ubisoft with the Assassin's Creed movie, they're approaching it knowing that it's probably not going to make a lot of money. They're viewing it as a means to get more people involved in the series. They're thinking to themselves, if we release a movie that hopefully the general audience can see, hopefully it can garner some interest in the next game.
And
That's
that's
how
fine.
which is
But I
fine.
want you to listen to what you said. Interest in the next game. There is no Portal 3. I'm sorry, it will
That's
never
true.
happen. It's not.
And
There's no
see, and
Portal 3, and
yes.
everybody on Earth already knows about Portal because they've already played it. Because every person on Earth is required to play it.
I agree with you that just I think that Ubisoft is approaching this from the right way with these video game movies. If you approach it knowing it's not going to be this huge like crazy moneymaker, I think you're going to be okay, you know? But I think that this Portal movie, I don't really know what their goal is here. Are you doing it just for the art of it, or are you doing it to make money? Because if you're doing it to make money, it is going to fail. Because video game movies don't work. Like, in the few that do kind of work, don't make money. Like, I haven't seen Warcraft, but I heard it was okay. But it didn't make a lot. It didn't make a whole lot of money, and they're not making a sequel. Why? Because it didn't make a whole lot of money. Because like studios have taken can adapt comic books and they can adapt books and they can adapt I don't know history and they can print that into millions. They have the whole process down pat into making adaptations of pretty much everything except for movies, and they keep trying to like go back and like fix it. They keep trying to figure out a way to fit video games into their movie making money machine, but it's not working. And they keep trying over and over and over, and it's never working. And I don't understand why anyone thinks it's going to work. It's not. I
Well, I think the problem also is the particular game that they picked. I mean, usually it doesn't work anyway, just because games don't translate to movies very well. But Portal is a game about background story,
Yep.
not blatant
And the other
story.
thing is, yeah, Portal is a game of background story and solving puzzles. You
Yeah,
can't do that in a
and
movie.
and as cool as Chell's relationship with Gladys is, you can't make a movie out of that. Like,
Nope.
I mean, they
It-
tried
I
in Portal 2 because Portal 2 was as close to a movie as we're going to get out of that. And to be fair, Portal 2 was still really good, and I enjoyed the little story bits that were there. But Portal 1 is a lot better because it's just, it's a game with a fun time robot in it that talks smack at you. You know,
I agree.
I'm struggling to see where they're going to make a film out of this. It's like trying to make a film out of that what was the stupid walking simulator game?
Uh,
Uh,
like Cool Pop or whatever.
no, not oh my god, not literal walking simulator. The interactive story thingy. The
You're talking about like Heavy Rain or
No, never mind. It doesn't matter. But it's like making a game about like just wandering around having story happen at you. It's not.
yeah,
You
it
don't
doesn't work.
progress the plot. The plot
I
progresses around you.
I really think that if they actually do make this movie, I think it's going to fail, and I think that the fans are going to hate it because I don't think Portal can work in a non-game format. I just don't. There's
Yep.
no way. It's not going to work. It's
Because it
not
would
going
have to
happen.
be like, well, I guess it doesn't have to be first person, but if it, okay, well, all right, if it was third person, it would be wrong because we would have Chell who probably talks, which would be bad,
Yeah,
and it would just be all wonky. But if it was first person, that's ripping off of that
stupid movie.
that weird ass movie about the
I
dead.
can't.
I don't remember what the hell it's
Suicide.
called.
No. Hardcore Henry.
Thank you. It's gonna
Yeah,
rip
that's
off
it.
that thing. Plus, it's gonna be extra dumb because it's just gonna be
But
about
that's like the
shooting
only movie
portals
that's
and
ever done
shit.
that.
I
And
know, and that's cool and
like,
everything, but I wouldn't want
yeah,
all of them to do that.
exactly. Like I just don't think it. I don't think they're ever gonna make another movie like that, especially not a major movie like this. I just no way. There's no way that they're gonna make it a first person movie. It's gonna be third person, and she's totally gonna talk, and she's probably gonna be played by like Felicity Day, and it's gonna be awful. Like
Actually, yeah,
it's
you know what? You know what's dumb about this is the other thing that's dumb about this. Portal has a cast of 4 characters.
what like Wheatley, Shell, GLaDOS, and
Oh,
the
I wasn't even counting Wheatley. I was counting the Atlas and Peabody as 2 of the characters.
that barely counts.
I know, but they'd probably be included.
Yeah,
So
probably.
it would be GLaDOS talking at Chell, Atlas, and Peabody as
Yep.
they had facial expressions or whatever.
Yep. It's
Actually,
not gonna work.
it'd
There's no
almost
way.
probably be better to make the movie about Atlas and Peabody because nobody gives a shit about Atlas and Peabody,
That's
and you can
actually
do whatever you
probably
want with their
true.
story.
That'd be kind of interesting. It would be like a Wall-E, but not exactly like Wall-E.
Yeah, and it would be like one of the Lego movies where nobody can talk; they just have to like smack each other to
It'd be kind of
communicate.
interesting if they did that. That'd be kind of cool. Actually, that might work.
Okay, great.
I, s-
You're
I
welcome,
still
J.J. Abrams.
I still don't think that they're gonna do that, and I don't think that it's gonna work overall. I mean, yeah, that's a good idea in theory, but I feel like in practice it's probably gonna fall apart. I'm sure they're gonna mess it up somehow.
I agree,
There's no way.
but
There's no way this will work.
that's the
And
fence I
this
usually
is
lean on.
this is me. This is like super positive, like give it a chance talking. There is no way this is gonna work. There's none. Like it's not. It's not gonna happen. Like
Welcome to the
no.
dark side, Adam.
I hate you. Okay, you know what? Let's talk about positive things, Steve. And
Okay.
this you can't possibly like twist into being negative. So
Oh, give me some credit.
Ubisoft says that they are not going to release an Assassin's Creed or Far Cry game, or okay, they might not release an Assassin's Creed or Far Cry game in 2017 because they want the games to have quote more quality and polish. And their goal is to have like an alpha version of the game running at least 1 year before the release date.
That
Like
is
which
bullshit. I demand a yearly sequel of all of my games. What am I supposed to play on January 1st?
how dare you, sir?
No, that's definitely good. Bravo, Ubisoft.
I love this so much. I am so happy. Oh my god. If I was by myself, I might start crying. It was just oh my god. Such a good idea. I love that they're doing this. I love
Congratulations
it.
on showing human restraint and self-awareness, Ubisoft.
Yeah. What? You finally realized that the crap you were pulling wasn't working and that you became a joke of the video game industry and all of your fans, like me, were making fun of you because you were continually making stupid decisions? You finally learned something? Oh my god. Did like reading Rainbow like just get like streamed into your brain? Like where did this come from? I don't
Thanks,
understand
LeVar
it.
Burton.
I'm so happy though. I'm so happy that they're like, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't like just pump out garbage every year. That's a good idea. And this is coming from someone who loves the Assassin's Creed franchise. And I actually really liked the last one, Syndicate. I thought it was good. But it could have been much better. And Unity was kind of a giant pile of crap. Kind of. It
I
had
don't know if
some
there's really a middle ground on that one.
it had
How do you
some redeeming
kind of be a pile
qualities.
of crap?
It had some redeeming qualities, but not enough to truly redeem it.
Well, all right then. I wouldn't know.
Yes.
I stopped playing them after 3, so
Well, I honestly can't even fault you for that. Actually, yes, I can. You should play Black Flag. I've told you this before, but you should play Black Flag. It's like the best one.
you should
Anyway,
play a game that I think is good.
okay. Thanks.
I couldn't
I'll,
think of one at the moment.
I'll work on that. But so yeah, this is so positive. Like 4 thumbs up. I can't be more positive about this decision. Good job, Ubisoft.
Yay!
You are finally learning, and I
You
couldn't
get
be
a
more
maple
proud of
cookie.
you. I am gonna give you a gold star. Be happy. When you release the next game, I'm gonna put it on the fridge. It's gonna be beautiful. Anyway, we're moving on to our next thing.
Assuming that it's not soggy.
We're moving on to our next
Little
thing.
asterisk there.
Pokemon Sun and Moon have revealed the second evolutions for all of the starters. Oh,
Yes.
and they also confirmed Mega Evolution, but like that's not really that surprising.
That wasn't news at all.
That wasn't really new. I just wanted to mention it because I'm like, yay, Mega Evolution, because I like Mega Evolution. So
I would have been
good.
more impressed if it wasn't in there, to be honest,
Yeah,
because I'm pretty sure we're gonna get that for the rest of our games.
which I like. But anyway, but the second evolutions, um, I like. Actually, it's funny. I think Litten's second evolution looks the best, personally. That's the fire
Oh,
one.
okay. For those who didn't, I'm sure everyone's already seen it because it's Pokemon, but I'm gonna briefly describe to you what the new starters look like. Um, the little bird
Yep.
evolves into an owl with an emo fringe.
I love it.
The cat evolves into a larger cat,
Yep.
and the seal evolves into a larger seal.
With like weird frilly stuff on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
The seal continues to be the worst.
I agree. Don't tell Savannah though. She loves the second evolution for the seal. And,
Did you see the third evolution that's not yet confirmed, but we basically know is confirmed?
I did. I did. And
It
that's the thing.
sucks.
That's
They
the
all
thing that
suck.
sucks about this whole thing because like those second evolutions I think are pretty good. Like I like them.
Eh.
I really like the fire one just because I was excited that it was still on all fours and it's and I hope that it continues along that path. I hope. Um and I like the grass one just because
His
I
emo
just
fringe, which he
it's
blows out of the way sometimes, which is
yeah, I
hilarious.
saw that. Oh my god, did you see that the fire one needs I can't speak. Needs when it's happy. You know how cats need, you know?
No,
Do you not know what needing is? Never mind.
I don't.
The
I
point
don't. I know I don't need a cat. But dumb tish.
whatever. Okay, I can't explain needing to you, but the point is it does something very cat-like that's really adorable, okay? Okay.
Okay.
Um
Gotta tell you, man. If I get this one, this might be the game I actually start with the grass starter.
I know, right? I really like the grass starter. Though I agree that the emo the emo fringe is uh odd, but those third evolutions, if those are true, the grass one looks so good.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
so
The grass
so
one turns out pretty badass.
oh, and by the way, if the grass one is what we think it's going to be and it's going to be like the archer owl, I'm going to name mine Owl of Her Queen. It's going to happen. I can
Wow.
hear it. It's beautiful. I
Wow.
love it. Oh my god.
That's.
Yeah,
I'm upset I didn't come up with that first, to be honest.
it's so great. I'm so excited for this. But I really really don't like the idea of the fire one once again getting on two legs and looking like a weird wrestler person and probably becoming firefighting. Like I know that the leak says that it's going to be fire dark, which is better, but I really hope it's not true. I really hope that I can't stop hiccuping. I really hope that the fire guy, the fire one can for once stay on all four legs for one freaking time. We've never had a quadrupedal fire starter, like its final evolution, that is. Never.
Um.
The closest one was Typhlosion, which is kind of
Well, what
quadrupedal.
about Hmm.
There was Charizard, there was
There
Typhlosion,
was. There
there
was
was
Blaziken.
Blaziken, there was Infernape, which
Yeah.
isn't technically. There was Embor, and then there was Delphox.
Wow, you're right.
Yes, it's stupid.
That's
I
weird.
want I
What do
want
you
my
have against bipedal
I
evolutions,
want
Adam?
my Pokemon to be animal-like. I don't like the idea of my Pokemon being human-like. Okay, I'll give a pass to Blaziken because Blaziken is really cool, but some of the other ones I just don't like. Delphox. Delphox looks like crap.
Yes, Delphox does
It's
look like crap.
so ugly and
Yes, it is.
disgusting. And Embor just looks like a fat pig person, which is weird and just it's weird.
Well,
And
usually it's the grass one that stays down on all fours.
yeah, I know, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that, but I don't like grass starters because grass is the worst.
Yes, it is. You are
Yes,
right
it
about
is.
that.
Like the only thing like fire is a somewhat niche typing, and there's only a few ways you can hurt it. Water is awesome because it hurts a ton of different things, and also you can make it learn surf, which is great. And grass is just a pile of crap that I guess can only learn cut if you really want it to.
Nobody teaches their starters cut, though.
That's, well, no one who's, a pro like we are.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, okay. The problem I have with the Fire Cat is that it's so Pokemon-like. If that makes any sense.
It is such a I saw some of the leaked concept art, and it pelvic thrusts, and a fire spiral comes out of its crotch.
That's phallic
What?
fire. I
Yeah,
hope that's a
phallic
move it has.
Dude, that would actually be really funny if it was called that. But there's no way it would.
No.
But oh my
Not-
god,
not in-
it's
not
so
in,
disgusting. Why are you doing this to me? Why do you have to keep making all the fire starters ugly humanoid things? Why? Just
So that they
stop
can
it.
be Rule 34'd online, Adam, that's why.
You can rule 34 without that, Steve. It's not
Yes, I know. Okay. Anywho,
All right, so
I don't. I'm not a huge fan of the. I always pick fire because I'm
That's what you
loyal
do.
to my fire starters, but I can't do it this time, man. It's so. It's
I'm
so
picking
boring.
grass. I'm picking grass.
I'm
Oh
probably
yeah,
gonna
and
pick grass too.
that's the thing that I like about this grass starter is it's grass flying, and flying is actually useful. So
True. Ooh, maybe this time, if they do what they did in X and Y, where you get an old school starter too, maybe we'll get the second generation. And if I pick the grass one, that means I get Typhlosion.
that would be cool.
I'd be down with that.
I like Typhlosion, though. I think the best of the second gens is Feraligatr. Personally,
I agree, but
yeah,
still, fire is badass.
Fire
Always.
is badass.
And then waters is always good too. And then grass gets to also
usually
ride the bus.
sucks. But there are a couple of exceptions, like Sceptile and this one, apparently. Because I really like Rowlet.
Dude, Trico is a badass.
Dude, Trico is a badass. I love Trico. Okay.
That's because all of the Gen 3 starters are good. Fact.
They really are. Gen 3 was the best in regards to just the starters. All three of them were awesome. Okay, so we're gonna move on to my humble opinion. Do you have a humble opinion?
I do not. I have no free time.
Okay. Let me think. I think I had one. I have one picked out. Oh yeah. I have a humble opinion. In my humble opinion, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, or excuse me, wait, the Amazing Spider-Man video game on the PS3 is not very good.
Oh, is this the one based off of the new movies?
Yeah, it was the one that was
Okay.
based off of the original Amazing Spider-Man.
All right. I played
Yes.
it. I remember.
You did play it?
Yes.
I don't like it very much, and there's so many things that don't make sense about it. I think it's weird that they take Gwen Stacy and immediately put her in a room so that she can't leave for all of the game. I think it's weird that I haven't finished it yet, but I think it's weird that Spider-Man breaks the lizard out of prison so that he can take him to his apartment so that the lizard can talk in your ear for the rest of the game. I don't understand the choices made in this game. I think it's weird that Rhino is included in the game when in Amazing Spider-Man 2, that is the movie, Rhino showed up and he was mechanical, not biological, but in this game they just decided to ignore that.
That's
I mean,
because
granted,
Rhino has a contractual obligation to show up as a mini boss in every single Spider-Man game.
Okay, because I'm a huge Spider-Man game fan. I've played a lot of them, but I hadn't played any of the more recent ones. I hadn't played the Amazing Spider-Man 1 or 2, so I picked up the first one on sale. And yeah, I don't like the way that you swing around the city. It's too close. The camera is right up your ass.
That's what I said. It is way too close.
It's so close you can't see where you're going.
I imagine it would feel good to swing around if they pulled the camera back like it used to be in the PS2 version.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so weird. It's why is the camera so close to me? Can you back off a little bit? It's oh no, you have to see him make all these, amazing flips and stuff. And it's yeah, but I don't need to see that because I can just, watch it from further away and actually see where I'm going. Oh my God. I do not like that at all. Actually, other than that, I think swinging around the city is great. I think it's really fun, except for that, because it's really annoying.
Well, that's it. That's what's it's inherently fun to swing around on stuff, but
Yeah.
they did kind of ruin it a bit there.
Also, the combat is just completely ripped out of the Arkham games. Just
Oh yeah,
absolutely
oh yeah.
100%. Like, they didn't even try. They didn't even pretend
Okay,
that
no,
it
no, no, no,
wasn't
no, no, no,
bad.
no, no, no. You have to realize that the Amazing Spider-Man game did that first.
No, they did not.
Yes, they did.
No, no way. That's
Because in
not
the
true.
PS2, the original Spider-Man had the Spidey Sense reflex thingy where you dodge stuff based on, button
Yeah, but
presses.
it wasn't exactly like
No, okay, they changed it to be more like the Arkham one because, that they can do that now. But Spider-Man did the dodge button press thingy first.
I mean, yeah, you're right that they did do something similar to that in Spider-Man 2, which is still the best Spider-Man game of all time.
Pretty much.
But it wasn't exactly the same, and I really think that this new game just completely rips off Arkham.
Is there
Like,
a name for that kind of combat style yet?
In Arkham they call it free flow combat. I don't know if that's like the official like genre of that.
Because I'm
I don't
pretty
know.
sure we're all just calling it Batman fighting.
Yeah, it's Batman fighting, which is what it is. I don't know, man. This game is so weird and inconsistent, and
Well, it's okay. It's kind of like how God of War kind of invented the QuickTime event, and for a while there we were all calling it God of War style QuickTime events. We don't really do that
yeah,
anymore because it's so prevalent now.
it's just quick time events. Yeah, I'm getting really sick of quick time events. On a side note, I'm getting just about sick of that.
I never
It was
minded them really.
it was fun the first few times, but after a while, it just feels like I'm doing the same thing like over and over and over. It's not exciting anymore. It's not as fun as it used to be because like instead of actually playing the game, I'm just pressing one or two buttons every like minute. It's
Well,
kind. It's
yeah,
just
if you're playing Heavy Rain, but the rest of the game still lets you play them.
well, yeah, I guess. But like with God of War, it's like I'm fighting, I'm dodge roll, fighting, use my spinny attack power, wacha, and then it's like, all right, I weakened him enough. Now I just have to do a quick time event.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of boring. It's like I'd rather fight him for real, not get him to the point where I don't have to fight him for real anymore.
Well, you basically did that. I mean,
Uh,
if they omitted the QuickTime event, instead of getting him to the point where you QuickTime event him, you would have just killed him.
I guess that.
So it's the
I
same
guess
thing.
that's true. At least this way, it's like cinematic. So I guess there's
Yeah.
that.
Plus, you get
All
to
right, fine.
stab a Minotaur.
It's not like a huge deal for me. It's just I'm getting kind of sick of doing the same thing over. Every game does quick time events now. It's like
Well, don't worry,
everywhere.
because I'm sure the Last of Us God of War edition or whatever will have no QuickTime events at all.
Hey man, that game looks great. Like really, really good. Okay, so now we are going to do WhoDaWin. If we want to. Do you have it? Do you have
Yeah,
yours ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. I am going to. I'm just going to pick one for me, and I would pick Luke Cage just because that's so.
You should really use the cup.
I should use the cup. I would pick Luke Cage, but I think that's a little unfair since he pretty much can't be defeated under almost any circumstances. So instead, I'm going to pick Shades from Luke Cage.
Okay.
Yeah,
Harsh contest right there.
I like Shades. He's cool and he's skilled.
Okay, well, I got Sinbad from Magi. That's how it's
Okay,
pronounced. Magi.
all right. So what's the contest? Because
It doesn't matter. I guarantee you I'm going to win.
if it's a style contest, I beat you.
Are you
Like,
kidding me, dude? No.
no,
More
for
likely
sure.
to catch them all? Okay.
First class all the way.
Sinbad would rock your shit at this.
First class all the way. Anyway, come on, bring it on. Do we have a contest?
Yeah, I just said it. Most likely to catch them all.
Oh,
Sinbad would crush you.
I missed that. Yeah, Shade. Well, I don't know. Shades is really intelligent, much more intelligent than Sinbad
He's
is.
averagely intelligent, and he has douchebag shades. Those are his only characteristics. Sinbad
He
has
is
the power of
more-
7 magical
he is-
genies.
He is more than just average intelligent. He is more than
Sinbad
just
has 7
average
magical
intelligence.
genies.
So that doesn't mean
Sinbad
that,
has 7 magical genies.
that doesn't mean it's gonna help you catch Pokemon.
Yes, it certainly does.
In what way?
How are you going to catch the Pokemon, Adam?
With
How's Shay
Pokeball.
going to go? He's going to wander through the tall grass, maybe throw a rock at one and hope he can catch himself a Weedle so he can throw it spear end first at something stronger until he can work his way up? Nah, Sinbad's going to go in, find a large collection of Pokemans, shoot fire from his eyes at them, and then catch them all immediately with his magic.
God damn it. Fine, you win.
Exactly.
Stupid. Fine. I'm gonna pick... Okay. I'm gonna pick Wolverine for our next bout.
Okay. It's not really fair you get to pick and I have to be,
Hey, I don't know what the contest is.
Whatever. It's cheating ass over here. I got Aquaman.
Aquaman versus Wolverine? Okay.
Yep. And World Whack-A-Mole Champion.
Well, actually, they're about evenly matched. I mean, they're both superheroes. They're both strong. Wolverine has more...
Aquaman. Jesus. Aquaman is stronger than Wolverine, though.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Wolverine... Yeah, I guess that's true, because Wolverine is just kind of like a normal dude, basically. Like, with advanced healing powers and metal bones and shit.
Which won't really help him with Whack-A-Mole, although talking to fish won't really help with Whack-A-Mole either.
That's true.
No,
and also, having super strength
Aquaman
really
tells
an
octopus to play, and he just hits all the holes at once.
That's cheating. No.
Why is that cheating? It's called using his resources at him.
Okay, fine. Then Wolverine would just ask Jean Grey to help, and then she could just... Like,
that's a different character outside of his power set. Talking to fish and commanding them is part of Aquaman's modus operandi.
That's fair. I guess, but I still don't think that you are allowed to just summon a fish to do the work for you. The contest is between Aquaman and Wolverine.
Well, then fine. Then Wolverine can't use his metal bones, because that's cheating.
What? He doesn't need them anyway, so fine. He can just leave them behind. He doesn't need them. Actually, I think you're going to win anyway, because I think Wolverine doesn't have the patience to play Whack-A-Mole.
No, he would most certainly just, like, claw the machine up into pieces.
Yeah, he would just rip it apart. So, I think he'd lose. Man,
awesome.
I just got no luck today.
Nope.
All right,
let's get another one in here. I'm gonna
pick... I'm thinking something Pokemon related, but I'm trying to think of what... I'm going to pick Rowlet's second evolution, with the stupid hair. I'm going to pick that one.
I got Kratos, ironically enough.
Holy mother of God, I am outmatched. I have no chance here.
Unless the contest is being a bird.
We should make that a contest.
Yeah, most likely to win the Hunger Games.
Wait a
minute. If that third evolution is true, he becomes an archer, and archers always win the Hunger Games.
That we've seen, that's correct.
Although Kratos has a bow as well, and it shoots demon wind. So
yeah, I think
or Kratos, fire, depending on the game.
I think Kratos would just laugh at us if we put him in a Hunger Games situation.
Probably.
Because he would just kill everyone.
Yeah,
and
on that little starting arena thing, he wouldn't go for weapons. He would just run around and rip people in half with his bare hands.
If on the offside chance that, like, Katniss or someone was able to kill him, Kratos would just forcefully rip himself away from the clutches of hell. Just to
crawl back up and then kill them.
Just to crawl back up so that he can find Katniss and just start screaming about revenge.
Ares!
I must have my revenge! And then he would just beat Katniss's face into a bloody pulp until it covers the entire screen. Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much. So yeah, Kratos wins. Well, you're having bad luck today.
I really am. It's just not fair.
Did you want to risk it for the biscuit and do one more?
I'm scared to. Okay, I picked Shell from Portal.
Okay, I'm not doing that one. All right, I got Dr. Doom.
Okay.
It's not looking good for you. Okay, looks like you won. I got most obsessive fans. Portal takes the win automatically.
No, I win that one for sure. And people like Doctor Doom for sure. Like,
wait a minute, hang on. Is the vote for Portal or is the vote for Chell herself? Because the only thing of Portal that people like is GLaDOS.
That's actually a good point, because I don't think anyone even gives a shit about Shell.
So if it's for Portal, you win hands down. If it's for Chell, or Chell I should say, if it's for Chell, I think Doctor Doom probably wins. But I feel bad for you, so we'll say it's for Portal. So you win.
Yes, well, we win. I win. See, I won.
So proud of you, Adam. Fair and square on your own terms.
Yeah. All right.
Yay.
So we will be back again next week. Our plan is to start posting these on Saturdays from now on. So hopefully that will be able to continue, and barring some kind of emergency or something, we should continue on for ad infinitum. So okay. Oh, and in the not too distant future, I don't know exactly when it comes out, but we'll be reviewing Doctor Strange whenever that does come out. I'm not really sure. Do you have any
October
idea?
somewhere, I think.
October? Yeah, I think it's October or maybe November, and that it's October now. So
Oh, you're right. I
eh,
think it is November. I think it is
yeah.
November.
So in like I don't know, 3 to 5 weeks, we'll be reviewing Doctor Strange. Just giving you a warning now. Okay. So
Cool.
we will see you all next week.